Pack Python.
Pack Python says, does selling affordable ball pythons work well for you because of your followers? Do you recommend it to other breeders? Already have followers wanting pets from me and considering a similar path. Much love.
Yeah, so listen, I think it can work extremely well. I mean, certainly, you know, we have a good outreach. You know, I mean, we have a large outreach, and that helps us a lot. Obviously, I'm not going to lie to you about that. But this is the point: is that anything under several $100s. You know, I don't know what the price point is for you, Laura. I think $1,000 is maybe the top end. You know, people will buy that as a pet. You know, yeah. I mean, you know, and I mean, certainly the more 300 to 500, right. 200 to 500 is going to be more. But my point is that up to $1,000, people will buy like a really cool, like, well, I just want that because I love it. They don't care about breeding it or genetics.
Right. Wait a second. Right now is during stimulus time. Yes.
The stimmy.
Yeah. That's the stimmy. The
right. Stimmy. You can buy more expensive pets.
Yeah. And but I think that the business model works better for two reasons for me and for us personally, and that's because. You know, when you're starting to breed snakes as an investment, I've said, and I've said this many times. Some people hate that I say this, but I'm just being completely honest. To me, it's a very broken system. And what I mean by that, I know you spent a lot of money tonight. What I mean by that is that this
$100.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She swore over almost 120.
I don't think that's right. You took some of my money.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You had a whole paper clip yourself.
Oh my goodness, that had to be 25.
Let's rewind the footage.
Yeah, but so my point is that, you know, and we did this, so I'm not like looking at people and saying you're bad for doing this. I mean, we most of our career we were doing this, but it would be like you would come to me and say, Brian, I've got $25,000 and I want to be a breeder. Okay. I would then sell you my project and teach you how to compete with me. And 2 years from now, you were taking my business away from me. That's a flawed business plan. Yeah, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the other thing.
Well, this is the thing is, it didn't start as a business.
Well, it
Back
didn't
in the
for
day,
us, but
it was
yeah.
well, it was a hobby, right?
Right, but
and then as it was kind of evolving, that was just how it had to evolve.
Right? No, well, but
you know,
I understand that, but I just think that we were part of that evolution,
yeah.
and we were part of the problem. And it's a pyramid scheme. It really is a pyramid scheme.
Well, of course it is.
The guys on the top make the money. The guys on the bottom don't make the money.
Which,
so
I mean, hey, guess what? Pyramid schemes are around. They
no,
always
and I'm not
will
saying
be,
it's like an illegal pyramid scheme or something. I'm just saying that,
but you just have to realize when you're getting into something like that.
Right, but most people that are getting in don't realize, and that's why we stopped. Is I saw too many people getting hurt. Saw too many people mortgaging their house and spending money and then losing it all, and it just wasn't good for me anymore. The other thing you've got to remember, Pac, is that you know, if you're talking about investment animal people. Let's say there's 100,000 people in this country that would like to buy an investment ball python or an investment, any snake for that matter, that wants to invest and turn this into a business. I would say 100,000 is a generous number, considering that USARK, the United States Association for Reptiles Keepers, has like less than 30,000 members.
Yeah.
So let's say 100,000 people would actually want to go to Tinley Park and buy an investment quality animal. Do you want to market your business to that 100,000, or do you want to market to the 12 to 15 million people that are reptile keepers in the United States?
12 to 15 million.
Right. Yeah, market to the 12 to 15 million, and you're not selling them on something that is going to eventually, be your competition either.
You're not selling them an investment, you're selling them a pet.
Yeah, you're selling them an animal. And we don't, so when people call us now at BHB and say, like, I want to make this, as a matter of fact, yesterday, you remember Big D, Damien? Down in Columbus, he messaged me yesterday, and he was like, I hadn't talked to him in like 2 years, and he was like out of the game, and he messaged me yesterday like, hey dude, what's going on? He's like, I've got some money burning a hole in my pocket, I want to invest. I literally responded, well, if you're looking for investment animals, I no longer do that. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't sell investment animals. I said, I've got some cool stuff. I said, you're more than welcome to look on our website, but I don't sell investment animals. He's like, wow, I can't even believe I hearing you say that. And so I kind of explained just what I just explained there, and he was kind of blown away, So my point is, Pac, is that if you market yourself to the pet trade, there's a much larger audience, and that you're not going to run out of people. Because the thing I think with the reptile trade, I was talking with Kevin McCurley about this not too long ago, is that now, not so much, you know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was so much money, it wasn't ridiculous. I mean, you go to Daytona or Orlando, and there was, you know, 50 people walking around spending tens of thousands of dollars. But I think Brian Potter said it good when he was here last week. He said, you know, there might be $3 million spent at Tinley, but it's really, you know, $50,000 that just keeps getting spent over and over and over again. You spend 10 and I spend 10, and then you spend it. So the $10,000 just goes round and round and round.
I got a question for you then. So what are your thoughts then? Because so like we just produced the first ever of whatever that something clown was. That's a beautiful whatever animal. Again, not a pet animal.
No, it's not.
So like, what's the thoughts on producing that? Because, and not that I'm against it, because obviously there's nothing cooler than producing a one-of-a-kind, the first ever and stuff like that. But then, so what are your thoughts, and where does that fit in us?
Well, it fits. I think where it fits is that 3 years from now, we're going to be pumping those guys out for $600 a piece, and people are going to be buying them like crazy because it's a beautiful snake.
Oh no, I have no doubt.
And that's my thought. Right now, I could sell that for probably $3,500 or $5,000, but that's not what I want to do. I'd rather keep it and produce it for $500 or $600, where people are like, "Oh my God, I can buy that Enchi Mojave banana clown for $600,
crazy.
And you can produce as many as you want. And you're going to sell every single one of them."
So we'll see, and that's perfect. And there you go to pack. Like, you know what I mean? So you can kind of have both if that's your mentality.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, like, you know me, like I am most like, screw that. I don't want to do any of that stuff from the whole, I just don't want to be in that game.
In my pocket.
Well,
What
it's probably
cage is
pocket in your pocket.
What cage is that supposed to be on?
Crocodile monitor.
I was sitting down. I'm like, something feels like it's in my butt.
Where's the energy therapist?
I'm gonna clip that.